Hi there. I've gotten lots of questions from teachers who uh, will make a change in their perpetual shell blueprint course. They'll go to blueprint, they'll hit the sync button, and then when they go to the live version of that course, something's funny. There's maybe one assignment or one page or maybe even just one class period where it doesn't look like the sync went through correctly or things aren't syncing properly. And it's a real mystery. Why is one assignment behaving that way, but everything else isn't? Or why is one class period behaving that way, but the others aren't? So I want to show you a few things that I've learned to help resolve this. If you go into a perpetual blueprint course, and I am in Corey Hawk's AP Psych class, only because I know he had this issue today, and so I know I can show it to you. I'm going to go under blueprint. Remember, I just click on the blue print button in the top right corner of any perpetual class. I'm going to click on Sync History. And here you can see how many syncs happened and how many changes went through. But if I go down, I can also see when there is an error. And so we'll see that this morning at 8:45 a.m. he tried to sync his AP Psychology class, and there was an exception. Something didn't work properly. What's that about? Okay. So that's the first thing. You can always go and see if a sync was successful by going to Sync History. The other thing that I've learned is that there is a way to force override a sync from a perpetual to a live course. From what I understand, what can happen is if you go into a live course and you make a change to something, sometimes it can mess with the sync. If you are in a live course and you edit or modify something, and then you go into your perpetual course and you try to sync, sometimes it messes things up. So how do I force it to sync, to overwrite that change so that it begins to sync properly? So if I'm in a perpetual course, I can go into any area where there's content, whether it's announcements or modules or assignments, okay? And there is a button here that usually looks like this, little gray icon. I'm like pointing to it like you can see me. But I can also toggle it to say that it is locked. And if I lock it on the perpetual side, it will then force a sync change. And when I sync it, it will override any changes that have been made in the live course. So from that point forward, it should sync correctly. The other thing that can happen is that you could be in a live course. Let's say I'm in my first period AP Psych, okay, and I'm in modules. And perhaps I want something to be locked on this end so that I can make changes. That's a possibility as well. If you want to learn more about how that works, you go to Help, go to Canvas Guides, and what you can type in is Blueprint Lock. How do I lock course objects in a Blueprint course? And I can learn more about that. Okay. So locking an object in a course enforces the attributes defined in course settings. Any change to an attribute retroactively applies to all locked objects in the associated course. So in other words, what you lock in the perpetual will overwrite any changes in an associated linked live course. Cool. It also says that objects that are unlocked can be managed by a course instructor like any other Canvas object. If the Blueprint course is synced and the instructor has modified unlocked objects in the associated course, unlocked objects are not overwritten with the synced changes. In other words, if I go into a live course and I make a change on something and then I try to sync from my perpetual over, it's not going to overwrite this because I've changed it on the live side. So just know that locking and unlocking objects is a way to deal with that problem. Whether you want something to sync or you don't want something to sync, this is sort of how you can toggle that on and off. If you have any questions, come see me. I'm sure that could have been more clear, but that's sort of what I'm understanding at this point in time. So just thought I would share.